matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it.
What's up, team? This is Robert Nipiani Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA MSC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, and history. What's up, Nipiani?
Oh, what up, Robert Porter? Doing well. Blessed to be alive. How about yourself, brother?
Incredible weekend. I had fun. I drove all over the San Bernardino Mountains. What about you?
You know what? I couldn't even tell you what I did this last weekend. It's a blur.
Yeah. That means it's been a lot.
No, it could just mean that I'm overworked and now I don't get the rest. In all jokes, we got to celebrate my mom's birthday. My mom and her twin sister. Their birthday is actually tomorrow, but we went to Benihana's this past Saturday. I love your little, the dainty clap or the silent clap. But we went to Benihana's. It was about 15 family members that came through, and it was a wonderful time. So I know she's listening. So happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday, Aunt Sandra. Love you, and Mom. Thank you for everything, Mom.
Where's my doggy bag? You didn't bring me nothing home?
As much as you spend to eat there, we were just talking about that earlier today. Ain't nobody leaving nothing.
Much left at the end.
Yeah, as much as you pay for that food, you're paying for the theatrics. Yes. We were talking about theater earlier. That's what you're paying for.
Did you or your mom catch any shrimp or chicken?
Say that again.
Did you or your mom get tossed any chicken or shrimp, and did you guys catch it?
No, we didn't get tossed anything. You know what I mean? But they did do the volcano, and it's funny because I was telling my mom, each one of the chefs are different with the volcano because ours was very tame. And then we looked over at the next table. The dude seemed like he lit the whole restaurant on fire, bro. And he was waving his hand through the fire like he was doing a magic trick and stuff. It was like, so they had a better performer, but the chef cooked the food well.
Yeah, and you survived the experience.
Yeah, and my wallet did too, so praise the Lord.
Awesome. Well, let's dedicate this show to your mom and her twin sister.
Yes, my Aunt Sandra.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And then all the August birthdays, whoever you may are, if you're listening, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'd like to mention our sponsor, Golden Pizza and Wings on Golden and Highland or Olive and Waterman. They have the $7.55 plus tax all day, every day, dine-in special for a large pepperoni or large cheese pizza. So go on over this Friday, get your kids some pizzas, and then you don't have to cook.
Hey now.
So handle it.
Hey now.
All
Affordable fun.
Yes, and tell them Robert Porter sent you from I Love San Bernardino.
He might charge you double.
Yeah. You'll get the good treatment. I promise. I promise. All right, and definitely got to mention PAL Charter Academy. Middle school, high school, and their summer school just finished up and they started the new school year. PAL provides the high quality instruction every child deserves. Info at palcenter.org or call 909-887-7002. And when it comes to PAL Charter Academy, it's a safe haven campus. So if you take your kids there, they are going to be safe. There's no way for anybody to get onto campus, and there's no way for anyone to get off campus without going through the security gate with the security guard right there.
There you go.
So that if you have any questions about that, please give them a call, and they will let you know all about it. We had Mr. Radin on the show last week to discuss that kind of stuff and all the different things that they're doing over there at PAL, including the food bank and things like that. So we really appreciate them and helping our show out. We can use it.
Totally. And I'm sad that I missed that show because you had Farhan, one of our network brothers as well on the show. You know?
Yeah, and he has some incredible like different organizations helping the pups and
I watched it.
Yeah, so I was kind of trying to make connections for him later on, like with Alice Chow with her rescue
you were mentioning
and stuff.
the people that were over the animal shelters and animal hospitals.
And Mr. Radin too, it looks like they had some good connections
there we
too.
Go.
So
there we go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good stuff.
I remember Farhan kept saying, "I'm in there. I'm in there. I'm in there."
And then we have to mention our other incredible sponsor, Motivational Realizations, the energy of positive thought.
Awesome. Who the hell is that?
Ipiani Locker. And there's books and everything else, so just check him out online, Amen. He is verified.
Awesome. Yes, I am.
I'd like to do a little bit of the history for the tidbit today. Wait, we do have the San Bernardino standout of the
Yes.
week.
Yes, our San Bernardino standout of the week is the Inland Empire Community Foundation. They threw an amazing policy and philanthropy summit last Wednesday and Thursday at the Riverside Convention Center. When you talk about like power networking for the Inland Empire, it's great to see so many faces that we're familiar with and people that we work with on a daily or weekly basis. But there's so many other organizations doing great work throughout the Inland Empire because, we're the first and third largest biggest counties in the country geographically. So it's so many pockets of great work happening. And that conference, or that summit, I should say, it's a wonderful opportunity to network and power build to help the betterment of the region for all of us here, regardless of your political affiliation or religious belief or sexual orientation. The focus is enriching the lived experience and the quality of life of everyone in the Inland Empire. So that's why I'm saying a huge thank you to the Inland Empire Community Foundation for the work that they do, hosting an amazing summit. They feed you good there too, right? That food is excellent there, So just want to say a big thank you, and to the leadership, Michelle Decker and all the staff. Great work.
And that's brought to you today by Palm Trees in Progress. And how can you find Palm Trees in Progress?
You guys could always tune in live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. or go ahead and just Google Palm Trees in Progress, and we'll pop up on Spotify or our website. Thanks, man. Appreciate
if
it.
they want to listen on the app?
Oh, you go ahead and download the KCAA app just type that in on your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Just type in KCAA, and you can listen in Paris, France or Paris, California.
Fromage.
Right on, team. And I do have a quick history tidbit, so I'll get to reading it right now. And this is the history of Waterman Avenue. Have you guys heard Waterman, the main thoroughfare down San Bernardino? All right, a guidepost to history concerning origins and place in street names in San Bernardino County.
All right.
Through this main thoroughfare was named for one of two citizens of San Bernardino County who ever became governor of California. It is interesting to note that no bibliography of him appears in any standard works of reference on prominent early residents. Robert W. Waterman was elected to the post of lieutenant governor in 1886, and upon the death of Governor Washington Bartlett, took the gubernatorial chair. He served as governor until 1891. In the spring of 1887, the California legislature provided an increase in the National Guard, and the efforts of Governor Waterman resulted in the formation of the Waterman Rifles, it being his aim that they eventually be mustered into the state service. The company was mustered in as Company E, 7th Infantry in 1887, and remained with them until the formation of the 9th Infantry, when they became well known as Company K. Company K won fame in the Spanish-American War and saw valiant service in the Philippines. Governor Washington was also instrumental in securing the third state building for Southern California, with the purchase of land and beginning of the insane asylum, later known as Patton in Highland. Waterman had become wealthy as the owner of the famous Waterman silver mine, pictured at right. It was located on the desert just north of what is now Barstow. Because of this mine, the Barstow Railway Station was originally called Waterman Junction. When a road was built up the beautiful canyon to San Bernardino Mountains in the 1880s, Dr. Ben Barton and his associates named the canyon after the famous Waterman silver mine.
Awesome. That's very interesting.
We got a governor here in San Bernardino. Wow.
and silver, apparently, at one point in time.
Yeah, out there in, we got gold up in Big Bear and silver out in Barstow, and there's silver up in Big Bear too. There's a lot of heavy metals throughout our area.
Definitely. I don't know why that story made me think of, but my dad used to talk about, how when you go over the wash towards Rialto, he was saying a long time ago there was like a bank heist that happened, and that people had hid money in the little, the little part you drive over, the little wash area. That money was hidden out there. And back in the day, when this quote unquote happened, it used to be like people that would go down there and scour and try to find the money. You know what I mean? Did you ever hear that?
Well, I've never heard that, but I mean, was the story before metal detectors?
Well, if it's paper money, it's not going to. You know?
Well, I mean, no, but like there could have been a medal
Nah,
on the bag because they had ties on them and
No, I hear
those
you.
bank
I hear
bags.
you.
Yeah,
And we bought my dad a metal
there's
detector.
rivets. Yeah, like there's always a chance. That archaeologist in me is starting to wake up.
Like, don't call the police when you see me down there.
Yeah,
That's
like,
just me.
you know, honestly, if you found it, you might want to turn it in.
Yes, Robert, you are correct. We got a new sponsor all of a sudden.
Well, we have a great show for you today, team, and thank you for staying tuned in. What do we have going on today, dude?
We have some amazing guests here to talk to you about a range of topics as well as entrepreneurship. And then one of the common threads that we all share around this table is that we're all poets. So that's a great thing. But I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with the gentleman, the distinguished gentleman, Sir Green on my right. Yes.
Hi, I'm Jeff Green. I'm Associate Director of the Inland Equity Community Land Trust, and I am part of the Inland Empire Tenant Union.
And Sir Green, not Mick Green.
Okay.
That's an inside joke from earlier.
Definitely.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nyla Davis. I am the proud owner of Nyla's Fat Thighs Cupcakes. We specialize in gourmet stuffed cupcakes. I'm also the owner and founder of the Bookmark and Arts and Culture Accelerator. I'm very excited to build and grow and talk about today.
Wait a second. That business has been around for 12 years.
Yes, Nyla's Fat Thighs Cupcakes has been around for over 12 years, actually. I miscounted because if I was 14 turning 15, that means this would be the 13th year of us being in business.
Awesome.
So I've been a business owner longer than I've been a grown up.
There you go. Or driving as well.
Or driving. Yes, I got my business license
That's
first
the way
before
it
I
should be.
listen.
You should own your own business before you drive. You own your own car. That would be amazing.
You could
I
get a better
definitely
car.
have learned a lot of different business development and personal development just in my younger years and in my, my adulthood now. So I have a very expansive, my portfolio is very long. I have a wide set of information, and now I'm just at the cusp of like, okay, I get to use all of this now because I'm an adult. People take me seriously when I go into offices now. So.
Definitely. Well, you don't look like one, but hey, that's a good thing. That's a blessing.
I'll take all the compliments where I can get them.
There you go. Well, with that being said, we're gonna start with Brother Jeff, and then we'll dive into your journey of entrepreneurship and your theater background and so much amazing things that you've cultivated. But Jeff, knowing that you're the executive director of
Associate Director,
my apologies, of this community land trust effort, can you please explain what community land trust is, the whole concept behind it, and then share about the work and the upcoming houses that you guys are going to be building in the high desert?
Yep. So a community land trust is a way for the community to own land, and the person buying the home just buys the structure. So it's a model that was created over in different iterations over the last 100 years. The first community land trust that was used for housing specifically was the Burlington Community Land Trust in Vermont, and was started as part of an initiative of Bernie Sanders when he was mayor. It's now, they have thousands of houses in the community land trust, and it's a place where the housing crisis isn't crushing people like it is here in Southern California. And a lot of the board members and those of us who initially started the Inland Equity Community Land Trust were big fans of that model and wanted to try and do something like that out here. There are community land trusts in Los Angeles County. Now there's here in San Bernardino, there's us, and NPHS, Neighborhood Partnership Housing Services, is building some community land trust homes in Palm Springs. And our homes we're building are in Adelanto. We got a piece of land very inexpensively from somebody else who loves the community land trust model. As far as the model goes, you can think of it kind of like maybe a condo, but it's not apartment structure. These are individual, like 3-bedroom houses. And again, you own the house. The property itself is owned by the nonprofit. And we were September, we should have our first certificate of occupancy on the first home. We're building 4 up there, and they will be available for sale by the end of September. And we're hoping we're going to be basically sell them for the cost to build them, and market value on them is about 420,000, depending on what the appraiser does when we finally have a certificate of occupancy. And we're trying to get in there right now. We're on target to be at about $330,000 a house. And so that's a significant difference. And the way we're structuring it is we're going to lock in that difference between the actual price that the homeowner pays and the market value, and call that an equity share. That equity share is going to be passed on to whomever the person sells their home to, and it'll stay permanently below market rate forever as long as the Community Land Trust nonprofit lasts. And they build wealth, they build equity as they pay down their loan. They
like you said, what does that mean? Last.
So, well, I mean, it's a 99-year ground lease.
Okay.
I'm 60,
Okay.
so in 99 years, I'm not going to be
totally makes
around.
sense.
Yeah.
We have a similar
So,
in Mexico.
so the same kind of structure, right? We're going to have the residents that live in the house serve on our board. We're going to hopefully, have many, many more homes, and eventually that's the community that's going to run their own land trust. And so
like a home association, but
you can think of it as a home association,
own
but
the
it's
land.
yes, and
technic. Yeah, kind
the
of,
nonprofit does,
Yeah,
and that's important for tax reasons. But
it's a very interesting model. Yeah,
yes, and
it's different.
so if you want to learn about them, I basically learned everything from an organization called Grounded Solutions. There's the DNA in Boston, our Dudley Street Neighborhood Initiative. It's a beautiful community land trust project that started several years ago. There's Beverly, Vermont Community Land Trust, if you want to look at like multifamily and how they've structured. There's people at Beverly in Vermont and Los Angeles right now paying $600 a month for an apartment. So, that's
cool.
That's what community land trusts are capable of achieving. And that's what we want to do here in San Bernardino and Riverside counties.
Cool.
I love that.
I mean, I think we need that in like 20,000 different other ways.
Yeah, you're totally correct. But what I love about it is just the creative ingenuity, as well as the communal approach, right? And to me, it's a approach that makes sure it's kind of like a village mindset, right? We're making sure that we take care of the whole community, that everyone has affordable housing, that can enter into housing, that can have opportunity to build some generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
To me, I love the structure because to me, it just screams that.
It's not a commune. So like that's like
No.
like it's kind of taking that concept, but like you still own the house, right? So that's cool. So you can still build your generational wealth a little bit, right? You can still.
So the way it's structured is they will basically, you make a down payment on the house, you pay down your loan, that equity builds up, you take all of that with you. If the market continues to go up and your house appreciates by 100,000, then you get 75% of that, and then 25% is shared back with the community land trust. So you get the vast majority of the appreciation. However, again, we're trying to bring back the idea of a home as a place to live, as opposed to an investment instrument, and
'Cause
pull
that's
it
what I was
out
asking
of
about.
so it's a strategy to try and stabilize that pricing insecurity, and it's an excellent model for.
If it got big enough, it could help stabilize. it,
Certainly, yes. And it is big enough in places like Burlington is now the Lake Champlain Community Land Trust, and they perform like all of the functions that a housing authority would in the county of Champlain. And they're they're a beautiful history to look at, and what they've achieved. And we're hoping to, do something like that out here in the IE where it's desperately needed.
Totally.
Desperately.
Totally. And then on the wave of housing, tell us a little about the Inland Empire Tenants Union.
So that's that's a project of the Inland Equity Community Land Trust, and we, because we're doing the Community Land Trust, a few years ago, people figured we knew everything about housing, and they reached out to us for help. And it's when she worked for Uplift San Bernardino, it was Karen Suarez who reached out to us on behalf of some tenants that live on Date Street by Date and Del Rosa, which
she has works at a different spot now?
yeah,
Okay.
but that's where the San Bernardino Tenant Union started. And so that's led by Deborah Harmond, who is now serving on the Community Land Trust Board. And she and other tenants in her building were basically, they had a sewage pipe that was draining above ground and leaking across their apartment complex. They had a whole bunch of habitability issues. And so we got together and started canvassing, and we just recently did a rally outside of PAMA offices. The PAMA, they own 1,300 buildings in this city. They have like over 3,000 of the rental units in the city of San Bernardino are run by PAMA Management. Mike Najjar is the billionaire that owns that company. He lost his real estate license for being a slumlord in about 5 years ago. And so it's a cycle, and they focus on communities where housing is, or especially like it's distressed. And they buy them up and package them together, much like they did before the 2008 financial crisis, and try and monopolize housing. And I think that they're driving the prices up, so rents are skyrocketing, and they're not the only ones. PAMA
Zillow did as well.
So Zillow is, there's there's a bunch of like Bridge, Hightower, and PAMA are all the same company owned by Mike Najjar. There's there's Westland, there's others operating in the same business model, but it's a business model now.
Yeah, because they want, there's a value increase in the price, right? So,
Well,
yeah.
but there's also, they're preying on people that are, they're removing stoves, okay?
The billionaires get love, and we get the shaft.
Yeah, and so that's the tenant union, we're focusing on trying to assert rights. So
And you have a lawyer, and you're suing him, or how does that work?
the Attorney General of the state of California is suing Mike Najjar.
Attorney General Bonta?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah. So
but
that's a little bit cheaper than hiring your own.
and this is the issue: is renters, we can't afford attorneys, and the way the laws are constructed, they require you to hire an attorney to assert your rights. So it's very difficult for renters to assert their rights. So people are not fighting evictions when they shouldn't be being evicted. We're,
In the first place, yeah.
Then the tenant union, we're helping people write answers to evictions. We're helping people find attorneys that will do, habitability lawsuits and those kinds of things. We are trying to get lawyers wherever we can. We've
Dude,
worked
when I
with.
ask about a lawyer, and you mentioned the best lawyer in the whole state of California, you're doing a good job.
Definitely.
Wow.
No, awesome efforts on both of the land trust as well as the tenants union. How can our community connect with either one of those entities? Because I know that there's many that live in slum-like conditions that want to.
We meet every other Saturday. So not this coming Saturday. We just met last Saturday. So 2 weeks from last Saturday, we meet at Ecclesia Church on Date Street. That is.
That's where I vote.
Pastor Beckley.
Yeah, I vote there.
There you
All
go.
right. Pastor's cool too.
Yeah. Shout out to Pastor Beckley.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, and
He does
thank you
so
so
much
much
for
for
the
that
community.
space.
Yeah.
Yes,
I see him everywhere.
And and we canvass every other Saturday, so we look for volunteers. One of the ways you can become a member of the Inland Equity Community Land Trust is if you don't have money, you can volunteer for 7 hours. You're a voting member. You can elect our board. You can be a full participant. One of the ways you can volunteer is come out and canvass with us for the tenant union, meet your neighbors, talk to them about their renters' rights, and get involved. And it's going to take a lot of us to address this housing crisis, and I think that the community really needs to get involved.
One quick question: Are you putting pressure on the politicians who he's giving all the money to? I heard he gives money just to everybody.
I don't know how much I want to go into exactly what our plans are politically because it's
Understood.
okay.
Definitely. We want to keep the 501c3 and the 501c4 status separate.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. As we close out this segment, what is the poetry piece that you're going to be sharing with us?
Oh, okay. Well, see, and this is going to just forget everything else I just said. Just pay attention to this.
It was interesting. That was very interesting, by the way. Thank you very much for sharing all.
All right, so I found a poem that doesn't have the curse words, and so here it is. It's called "The Commercialization of Jackie Onassis Blowing Her Nose." What happened to the news coverage or even posts on 4chan about those the electrical substations? Some say it was Antifa that shot up the substations because Antifa was already spinning stories about how some substations were shot up before the police were even called. The police say they found bullet casings, but not much else. Say the whole grid goes down. That's it, right? That bell can't be unrung. There's no way of localizing power because it's all sourced from dams and electricity farms and nuclear power plants or other large operations which are already high-value targets. The experts will say, don't fearmonger or exaggerate about how bad it'll be. They say Americans will work together and get through it somehow. They don't understand human suffering. They have no experience dealing with starving people. Starving people in America will act no different than starving people in Mogadishu. In fact, they'll likely act much worse. Americans have never seen true hunger. They didn't grow up starving. Americans will be viciously angry when they get hungry. They will have no experience with the mental hallucinations brought on by hunger. Looting, raping, pillaging will be the norm. I don't care if they fix the electrical grid a year later. Most Americans will be dead, and the only ones left will be survivalists, the extremely lucky, the larger, more well-organized gangs of looters, the strongest and most brutal who left their souls at the starting gate and did horrible things to survive. Who will the engineers fix the grid for? Will we all forget what transpired and go back to work? How do you get warlords to give up their new positions of power and their soldiers and their harems of slaves? The day the electrical grid goes down, America ceases to exist. Unless everyone has a Predator 350-watt super quiet inverter generator from Harbor Freight.
There you go. Get your generators now, people. Get your generators now. Definitely, man.
That almost sounded like 28 days later or something, man. A little bit,
Nah, for real.
Yeah.
It casts a
apocalyptic, right?
definitely a dystopian kind of vision. Definitely. Well, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother Greg.
Yeah, now I have to talk to ChatGPT about this, man. What are you doing to me, dude?
Definitely. No, thank you and shout out to Maribel Nunez as well.
Oh my.
And the work, your partner, and the work that executive director and partner as well, and the work that you guys are doing. Nyla, how you doing today, sister?
I'm doing good. I'm here and I'm breathing.
Amen. Blessed be alive. Another day above ground.
God is good.
Amen. All the time. Tell us about you started off as an entrepreneur so young. So share with us please share the name of your company and how did the origin story of your company.
Like every great story, I'll start it with this. So boom. So boom, I am about 13 years old, and I get this letter from a group called People to People. It is a student program that invites students to study abroad for 4 to 3.5 weeks in other countries to give them, a cultural engagement experience. And they have teachers who nominate students for this opportunity based off of different honors classes and programs that you're in. So I had happened to be, a daughter of a teacher and a legacy of teachers. So obviously I'm in all the hard classes. I'm taking classes at our junior college every other summer. And so I got nominated by one of my teachers. And so my mom's like, oh, this is such a beautiful opportunity. I see this tuition form. It's about $7,000.
Oh.
I know you don't have $7,000 under your pillow. Otherwise, we need to talk. But I know I don't have it right now. I want you to see the world, but this is a lot at 13 and a half. We might need to pray on this for a little minute. And so I was really determined because that recently, my aunt had been, she had left the country. She had been in Europe because she had lived there for a while. My grandmother had gone and my mother had gone. And so I'm just like, everybody get on these planes and going out to countries. Where's my turn? I want to go.
Yeah.
And I got the little golden ticket in my hand. Wait a minute. So I made a deal with my mom. I'm like, Mom, let's say I get good grades this summer with this program that I'm in. Can I try to go? And she's like, Nolly, you get straight A's through your 3 summer classes. We'll play with the idea of fundraising. So I came home with straight A's.
All right.
And I was like, okay. So I'm figuring out, how am I going to get this money? I'm already the quiet student in the class. So I'm like, people know I cook because, class potlucks, I bring something cute or whatever.
There you go.
And my mom's like, okay, you can try to cook something. Let's do brownies. Let's do cookies. I'm like, let's do cupcakes. And she's like, go into class, do a pitch.
Yeah.
And make sure I'll believe you if everybody who orders something does a $1 deposit. So I was selling cupcakes for $3. And she's like, if everybody makes a $1 deposit, I will help you.
Okay.
So I had a teacher who had tried something of mine, and she loves the underdog, and so she's like, you're my quiet little good student. I'll give you the first 3 minutes of class.
There you go.
And so I get in front of my class, I give my pitch. I had this little paper that goes around the class. I left that class and went home. My mom was like, all right, how many deposits do you have? I showed her $60. She's like, oh, that's $60 to people who already paid in full. I'm like, no, these are $61 deposits.
Okay.
She's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, and I have more people ordering tomorrow. They're like, oh. So from then on, a year and a half. When I that Friday, that became the new, development of Nyla, the girl from English class, to Nyla, the cupcake girl. So I had spent a year and a half, and I made it to that trip, and I had made over 15,000 cupcakes to fundraise for that trip.
Awesome.
And that paid for all of my licensing, my DBAs, and, a little spending money. But that didn't stop. I became Nyla, the cupcake girl. And so I had an established business, and I had ran it all the way until I went to college. And there I did my little Hannah Montana moment, because running a business when you're a teenager, it sounds cute. Very True Jackson VP, very Hannah Montana, until you become the cupcake girl. So when you're walking around, now that you have cupcakes. Now that what are you doing?
I hear you.
What interview you're going to?
Now you're a supplier.
Now I'm a supplier. It's a little different when teachers are trying to get you to do they nieces and nephews' birthday parties in between classes. I'm like,
shouldn't have made it so good. And where's our cupcakes?
Listen, now Nyla is grown and she got an Instagram. Now you because cupcakes sound great until I tell you, okay, so this is my Zelle.
You on my Instagram today.
And so, yeah, we are very close to reaching our 1 million baked and sold mark.
Congratulations.
So we are at the final 100. So that means we have baked over 999,000 to the 900th.
Okay.
And so it has been an interesting career of growth, development, and cupcakes.
No, that's beautiful. For any young entrepreneur out there, what would be your words of encouragement? Because I often tell the youth all the time, you don't have to wait till you're older or adult to make money to create a business. What words of encouragement would you offer to the youth?
Ooh, honestly, I would give them a couple of words. Honestly, I would say, do what you love first. I am a multi-hyphenate artist, and so culinary arts is a love language that was definitely taught. I grew up in a blended and split family. So my mom and my dad had different households, different patterns. But one of the things that was very similar is that my grandmothers and my aunties on my mother's side, they showed a lot of their love through food. So we had practice the formal tea talk parties with my auntie Donna, learning how food grows from my mommy, my mother's mother, and my grandma and my granny Ann, my father's mother, watching her cook and the love that she put. This is a woman who, from the age of like 3, she literally served breakfast on like a silver chafing dish with a teapot and everything. And that's something that she did for all her grandchildren. Every grandchild she had, she would buy a new tea set. And she would make sure you got served with your plate, served with your fork.
That's beautiful.
Food is such a love language that I think because, we buy food, get your little In-N-Out burger or whatever, get it, gotta eat, gotta go.
We get Chubsy smash burgers here.
Right, you get your smash burger, you eat it, it's done deal. But food is one of the most intimate things that you can do for somebody. You're a part of their healing, you're a part of their nurturing. You don't let nobody in like that until you're a therapist or a doctor.
And it always
feel me?
tastes better if someone else makes your food.
And it always tastes better.
I don't know, why is that?
You gotta be
'Cause you
good
didn't
to
have
the
to
people
cook
who
it.
love you, and you didn't have. It's the labor of it.
It may be something primitive too, because like if you were didn't want to eat someone else's food, you could have died back in the day, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So somebody offering you food, especially prepared food, and then the advancement of taste and palates, and it's just something so human about sitting down and we're like, we have all the means
Pure
to take from
love.
each other, but we're gonna sit down at this table and serve each other.
It's
It just
pure.
opens people up in a way that few other things compare
It
to.
gives you all the good, feel-good hormones and everything, right? Because you're like, as soon as some sugar hits my belly, I'm...
Right. You're not going to argue about what we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
We have banana pudding in front of us. That's going to change the entire conversation.
We have some incredible cupcakes.
We have some
Yes.
incredible cupcakes.
Hey now.
And my cupcakes are definitely influenced by my culture and by my family. And almost every cupcake has a specific
Well, what's your
story.
most famous cupcake? What's your favorite?
Oh, the banana pudding by far.
Oh, that's what you just
Definitely,
mentioned.
definitely.
And what is the Instagram again?
Nyla's FT cupcakes. The F and the T stands for fat thighs, but Nyla's FT cupcake. Fat thighs was a childhood nickname of mine because I was a little chunky baby, and so I used that branding to my
There you
advantage,
go.
and we're still here.
Hey now, definitely. And you said you shared a little about your theater background.
Yes.
And being a multi talented in many of art spaces. Could you share a little about that?
Yes. So I've always loved entertainment. I always love like performing arts. I definitely am somebody who grew up watching American Idol on Thursday nights with my Uncle Boo and my mom. And then I also remember getting DVDs of like the Tyler Perry plays before he like had a bunch of like Medea movies and
Yeah,
seeing the
yeah.
plays growing up.
Totally.
And so performing arts was just a part of just like the core of who I was. I knew I would find it, but it found me in such a unique way. I went to school to UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I needed a multicultural arts class while I was pursuing a hospitality degree. And so I took this Theater 100 class. And when I tell you just the care that went into building a world, and I was already someone who was, a little, not antisocial, but kept to herself. And so a lot of my emoting and expression would come through different movies and come through different TV shows that I watch. But listening to a professor, listening to peers really take the time to talk about how the lighting affect the mood of the scene that we're watching. Where in the body are the characters holding stress, and how do we as actors portray that? And so I made a beautiful shift and had my major change from solely hospitality studies to interdisciplinary studies, because I wanted to understand that how does this performing culture and the art of servicing people meet each other. And it's the humanity. We're feeding people humanity and life from very different directions.
Yeah.
And being in Las Vegas is one of the best, combinations of studies that you can get. And so for my thesis, I made an observation about how many areas have theaters and how the theater's location was in prominently Black and brown communities. I did my studies specifically in the Oakland and NorCal area. And I looked at these theaters, and the people who lived in the community didn't match the people who were audience goers of the theater. And considering the history of theater being a place to express feeling and thought, and especially like just political, just like outroar from what's happening in the world, I was like, this is kind of backwards. This, like, we see movies all the time. How many streaming subscriptions do I have when I really need to go outside and I could watch a show? And as an actor, why am I not getting picked up with auditions and stuff that's happening in my own backyard? I didn't know where my own local theaters was. And that was, as someone who grew up partially in LA County as well as the IE, that was the first thing I missed. I was in like Lulu's Dance Academy. There was like 2 or 3 arts programs at my elementary school. And the first thing that I noticed was missing. I was like, where's our choir? Where's our Caribbean like music class? Those were the first things that I couldn't translate in that proper language, because I was about a 4th, 5th grader. But I noticed it along with the I make the joke that I was the whole Black population of my 4th grade class. Granted, there was only 4. But when the teacher says our Black students in our 4th grade division need help reading, I'm like, okay, you could have just said me. But culinary arts and theater arts helped me in my college career in building the world that I really wanted to see. And I was able to foresee that very well, especially in the pandemic, where I felt like I should have had my living single moment. I'm 20 something years old and I'm going to go get that arts program job, and they're going to let me be in this cute, beautiful office, and I'm going to inspire all the beautiful brown and Black babies to do all the artsy things. But then the world shut down. So I'm like, how I end up back at my mama's house?
I hear you.
Oh my goodness. So that is what inspired the resurrection of Nyla's Fat Thighs Cupcakes, as well as the bookmark, the art and culture accelerator that was birthed out of that sheltering period.
It never died. It was still burning in you. Yeah.
There you go. On that note, I know that you brought a couple of poetry pieces that you would like to share with us, and then you're also a singer as well.
And one second, did you ever integrate the theatrics with the cupcake making, like Benihana? Is that what it's talking about?
That might be. I see a podcast.
I'm not gonna give away too many of my goodies.
Oh, okay.
But. Nyla always has a notebook. You see, I got 2 right here. I got a plan. Don't just like, Nyla, can we make? I've already written it down. All right. When do you want me to do it?
Right now.
I know my mic.
There you go.
Beautiful story.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Definitely. The mic is yours for your poetry.
Thank you. So, I got a book called Write the Poem. I like any book that encourages you to write and express. So this is one of the many I filled.
Awesome.
And so this poem is called The Peach.
Okay.
Freedom is a peach, to desire without resistance, to bring your truth to lips and fall to the call of indulgence, to smell, to feel, to act, to bite, the ability to bare one's teeth, is reserved for some, yet primal to all. Why spare the opportunity? This is no cattle to rear in range. If I inherit my liberation, what halts my progress? My theory is that we eat as big as the gardens we can see. We choose to have the peach rot in our hands rather than witness our last bite. We starve ignorant to the pit that was meant to build our orchards. We sink into the soil that was meant to feed our kin. We pray with them to find another stone fruit. We do. And yet the cycle continues.
That's powerful. And just around, I love the line where
That
it's
is
like,
a lot of humans. Yeah, their gardens are too small. Their garden could be so much bigger of their own making, and they don't. They keep it small.
to let it rot in your own hand instead
that was
of
hardcore.
consuming it what is meant to nourish you, and that seed at the middle of it is meant to be planted to increase the yield to continue.
Which I have done.
Yes,
and
you have.
I feel so good that I did.
Amen. But it's so many layers to it.
It's so many layers. I've had this feeling so often and so many times, especially as a young entrepreneur. And my truth is, like, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm the cupcake girl. But that was my peach. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is my only peach. If I don't do anything with it, but what if I need lemons? What if I need grapefruits? But I was so focused on this is my only peach, I couldn't see the soil around my pit. Man. You feel me?
No, I feel you. I hear you, sister.
Good
For
book,
real.
good book.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing. What is the title of the second piece that you're going to bless us with?
So the title of the second piece, it's called The Future.
Okay.
I love the future.
Just know life after the show. I'll look where I am, from where I'll go. So fond of where it all began. Before the bands and the cars, it was a dream that took me far. When God speaks about my destiny, when you're walking in the dark, keep your faith and leave the rest to me. Walking down this road, every weight shifts, feels cold. I'm too young or too old to hold so much hope, but so much regret, to be determined, but lack the confidence. Others run laps around me. Anxious like there's a bunch of traps around me. One wrong step and I bleed an opportunity that I can't see. I pray at the end of the day that whatever prophecy he wrote for me, that I'm taking the steps that I'm supposed to be. I believe in the voice he has chosen for me is meant by fate to spread love, not hate. And so long as I can maintain my mental, I can focus on my craft and learn to love my potential.
Beautiful, beautiful. 5 minutes left. I love your poetry. It seems so diving within yourself and seeking and learning yourself. You talked about how that theater, being exposed to theater, made you really look at who you were and discover who you were, how
Absolutely.
you carry that energy or your stress at certain times or your joy and how you talked about your emoting and how you are demonstrative with your gestures, your hand movements.
Theater imitates life. So to study theater is to study life intimately. You feel me?
I hear you. No, that's amazing. Do you have any books or anything of poetry that you publish, or is that on the horizon? Is that it? A notebook as well?
That is one of this is two of many notebooks, but that is very much it. Art, poetry, expression, of course, theater and film are a part of the beautiful world of Nyla that I hope to build. So that is very much a part of my agenda.
You're building
that I am building
that
brick
you
by
are
brick every day.
Amen. Amen. Definitely
I don't have $1 to put deposit.
definitely.
For a cupcake?
Yeah. For the book, for the upcoming book.
Are those old prices?
We don't.
Inflation. We need
Gas is almost $6 now. My cupcakes ain't $3 no more. I'm so sorry. I would love to do $3 cupcakes again. We don't live in that time no more.
Darn it.
Definitely. Well, for both of our guests, I want to just say thank you for both being here. And if you could share with our audience one more time, and we'll start with Jeff, how to get in contact with the IE Tenants Union or the Inland Equity Community Land Trust.
Well, the tenant union website is ietu.org, and the Community Land Trust website is inlandequityclt.org. And my email, I don't know, should I give out my email or what?
If you're comfortable,
Or
you don't have to.
Okay, well, I mean, you could get a hold of us there on all the forms. We'll definitely, fill out any one of those forms. Especially if you have renter issues on ietu.org. We've got a bunch of helpful resources on there. And if you need help, we have volunteers that help write answers to evictions, help do all kinds of different things. And, so hope to hear from you.
And shout out to Ashley, who was the MC for the rally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ashley Dial, who is a member of the San Bernardino Tenant Union. If you saw her as the MC, you could come meet her on Saturday and join us at the meeting on Date Street. Not this coming Saturday.
next Saturday.
Next Saturday at Ecclesia Church.
Awesome.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. at Ecclesia Church over there
And
off of
we
Date
have
Street.
donuts and coffee there.
You need to have some cupcakes there, brother.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Nyla, how can people get in contact with you to purchase some of those scrumptious cupcakes, as well as find out more about your artistic and creative endeavors?
Well, you can reach me at nylasfathighscupcakes.com.
Amen.
Absolutely. For any of your sweet treats needs. You can also reach me at my next event. That'll be the Titty and Tea event celebrating Black women in Nursery Month. So I'm working with the San Bernardino Moms Walk Club, and I'm so excited to do that. And for any other means, you can reach me on our Instagram at Nyla's FT Cupcake on Instagram.
Is
Fat
that
Thighs and
open?
Chubsies, we got to get this together.
Definitely.
Listen.
And is that event open to everyone? Because I like both of those things. So
That event is open, especially to moms and little ones. That is a family-friendly event, and I encourage everyone to sponsor our mama. Anybody who has had little ones or growing little ones, this is a beautiful event to celebrate motherhood, especially Black motherhood.
amen. Beautiful, beautiful.
And this has been a great show. You put together something very interesting for me today. I learned a lot. So
There you
thank
go.
very
There you
much
go.
today.
I thought you would be interested with the community land
Yeah,
trust and everything.
that's something different to me. Like I always am interested in out of the box thinking because there's not enough of it.
Yes, totally.
And Fat Thighs Cupcakes. What's your second favorite?
The chocolate chip cookie monster.
Now I'm in.
All right.
Now I'm in.
Chocolate
All right,
chip
there you
cookie
go.
Monster.
And this is Robert Porter and Nipiani Lockhart with the I Love San Bernardino County Radio Show, and we all.
And we're still live on the Facebook.